G'day friends, and welcome back to our fifth and last class for January. Just bear with me while I fix this up for you. Just looks a little bit crooked somehow. For some reason I can never get it straight, but we'll continue anyhow. We'll battle on, as they say. Okay, so this is our last class for January, where our monthly focus was on the Dainty Delight stamp set and the Dainty Delight dies. Okay, so again, our card is a simple one, but this time round it's a bit of a fun fold. Okie dokie, just like that. We've just got a little flap on the front, and I think by having the flap on the front, it leaves lots and lots of possibilities. Okie dokie, so we'll continue. Now, I have changed a couple of things around, but, excuse me, I just have to get my pencils. But it won't take away from the original card. Okay, so we'll just put that to the side. So hopefully you can still see that. And we'll dig out our kit where we've got lots and lots of little pieces that I've pre-die cut. Have them all out. Okay, so we'll start with our base card. Now the base card, even though I've just done a flat piece of cardstock, there's nothing to say that you can create a base card, especially if you want to put a sentiment inside. There's nothing to say that you can't do it. Okay, so we've got a couple of pieces of cardstock and a piece of DSP. I love this paper, and I actually love the other side now too. I wasn't too keen at first, but it's growing on me very fast. Sit there, but I particularly like this side. Probably because it's pink, I don't know, but some of us hate pink, some of us love it. So, okie dokie, so what we're going to do is we're going to create our flap first. Or actually, what we'll do is we'll adhere our piece of cardstock first. So I'm just going to use, you could use either side on this. It's entirely up to you, and either side would actually work. Okay, so we're just gonna put that down onto our rich Razzleberry cardstock, just like that. Then we're going to bring in this piece of cardstock. Now this is going to be our flap, okie dokie. So what I'm going to do is going to do it a little bit different because I want it to be in line with the piece of rich Razzleberry. Okie dokie. So what I'm actually doing is I'm just going to score, not cut. I'm going to score the flap so that it's a little bit longer than what I actually need. So I'm hoping this will work. So that's probably about 5/8 of an inch, half an inch at the top. I'm just going to fold that over and burnish it with our bone folder so that it's nice and crisp. And you want it so that it's nice and sharp because we're going to stick it over here like that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to open our flap, grab our adhesive, and we're just going to put a little bit of glue on the inside, just like that, of that flap. Okie dokie. And then what we're going to do is bring it back, making sure it's nicely squared away along the top and nice and straight, and we're just going to press down so that it's adhering. Now you don't want any gap between the two pieces of rich razzleberry. You want it so that it does fold nice, well, sit nicely. So, but just like that. Okay. Can you see that? Just like that. And that will fold over really nicely. So I'm just going to burnish that again. So, now remember how I said I want my flap a little bit longer. If you had scored it, say, straight on the 3 7/8 inch, it will come up a little bit shorter. So I've worked out that if you do it a little bit longer, you can then trim off that little bit along the bottom, and then it's nice and squared. So let's hope I can trim off that bit nice and straight. I hope I've explained that properly. There. Actually, I'm just going to get my paper trimmer. It's a little bit... just to tidy it up a bit. My paper trimmer needs new blades and I keep forgetting to change them. My scissors need cleaning too. I need a little fairy that comes in at night. So that's... hopefully I haven't cut too much off. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I'll just put all that aside. Then what we're going to do is stick this to our base card. Okay, so again I'm just using the liquid glue. Now, as I said, you could make this into an actual base card if you wanted to, and just have the flap at the front and put an image along here if you wanted to. And what you could also do too is put another piece of basic white on the back and then write your sentiment there. Okay, so that's done. Then I've got a piece of basic white, and this is going to be for the inside of our flap. I'll kick the original out of the way. So we'll just put a little bit of glue on the back of this. Okay. And what I want is, I want it just straight in the middle, down that piece of DSP, while at the same time, you're not going to see it from the outside. Okay, just like that. Now, if you wanted to, another way of doing this card, you could chop this DSP in to pieces, so that you're not wasting this middle section. So you could have one small piece down here and the larger piece down this side. You could also have it a little bit shorter so that you've got a piece of rich razzleberry showing down the sides. okay, but I thought we'd just do it in the one piece. Then what we're going to do is grab this piece of DSP and we're going to stick that to the piece or to our flap. Just like that, so that there's a nice border showing around. Okie dokie, just like that. Then what we're going to do is, I have stamped and die cut the leaves already. So that's this one here. And what we're going to do is colour the leaves again with our watercolour pencils and Old Olive, only because Old Olive is in the DSP and I think Mossy Meadow. So I'm just going to use Old Olive. I'm not being too particular. I'm just applying a dark amount of colour towards the bottom of the leaves and up a little bit, because then what we're going to do is once again bring in our blender pen and we're going to blend that colour out. Okay. Just nice and easy. Now once this class is over, it will be available to purchase in my PDF store. Okay, not that you'll need it, but just in case you lose it or you want to purchase it again or know someone that wants to purchase it. So that's just going to go there. Okay, then we've got two very thin stems. These have been cut out with Old Olive again, and I've also die cut one of these, okay, but I want to change the colour. So this one I've used Starry Sky, or no, it's actually Fresh Orchid, not Fresh Orchid, Orchid Oasis. So what I'm going to do, so that's been cut in Old Olive. What I'm going to do is cut this one, which has been cut with Blushing Bride. So just bear with me. I'm actually going to chop this off just here. Okay, so I could have used the pink stem, but I want to use the green one. So what I'm then going to do is, just dab the tops of the flower and the bottom. Now you could use the fine tip glue pen if you wanted to, or you could also use mini glue dots, and I'm just going to stick the pink on the top and then match the shape. And that looks like it should have been die cut like that. Okay, easy peasy. Then what we're going to do is bring our card in, and I'm just going to stick that there like that. Actually, before I do that, what I want to do is I want the head of the flower to pop up a little bit. I don't actually want it flat. I want to give a little bit of dimension. And I still don't have any mini dimensionals, so we're just making do with the foam adhesive sheets at the moment. I keep forgetting to order them. I thought I had ordered them, but you know what, thought. So that just goes there like that. Then we can bring in our glue, and I'm just going to run a little bit of glue down that stem, and that's just going to go there like that, and just apply a little bit of pressure on that foam there. That's one done. Okay, so then I've got another stem that I've die cut. Now this stem, you could have it, the stem going that way, or you could turn it up and have the stem going that way. But in this instance, I want it to go the opposite direction. So, and then I've cut out the top of it. I don't even know what these flowers are called, but this is Starry Sky cardstock. Okay, so we're just gonna put a little bit of glue just along the top, and we're just gonna stick that to the top like that, so that it's nicely stuck down. And we will apply a little bit of glue to our stem, just like that. And I'm just going to have that a little bit lower and just popping out to the side. Okay, don't worry about this section. We're not going to see that section shortly. Then what we're going to do is put this one smack bang in the middle, just like that. And I think we might pop this up a little bit, eh? I haven't done it on that one, but there's nothing to say that we can't do it. So let's do that. Oops. Thumbs are too big. Just for a little bit of a oomph, I suppose. And then we'll just put a little bit of glue down the bottom. And we'll just put that about there. There you go. That looks pretty good to me. Then what we're going to do is grab a couple of leaves, and we're going to put a little bit of glue on the back of our leaf. Just about there. That's one. And we might put one of these Sometimes I don't know which way these leaves should go, but I think it goes that way. Put one there. And we might do, I don't want to cover that flower up. Let's do, no, won't worry about that. Then what we're going to do is our sentiment. Now we're going to use Celebrate You. Celebrate You. I never got this right on. I must have done this at night time because it's not straight. May explain a lot. I always stamp on scrap paper first so that I know, especially if my image isn't straight or the label hasn't been stuck on straight, as in this case, and then I will stamp. Just bear with me, I just want to have one more go. Yeah. Oh, missed that completely. So this might be out of camera for the moment. I'll just try one more time. Yep. Okay. And that's with Starry Sky. And then we're just going to trim this little bit off in a straight line, and the same with this side, just in a straight line. You can shape it if you wish, or die cut it with a die, your favourite die you might have, and that's it. Then what we're going to do now is grab a couple of dimensionals and pop it up across the bottom here, making sure it's nice and straight, just like that. Okay, now I did actually cut out a rich razzleberry one too, because I thought I was going to see how that looked, just to give you another look. I don't mind that either, but I think that pops it a little bit more. And as I was putting it together, that flower just then, a thought came into my mind. So we're just going to finish it off with a couple of these really, really sticky enamel dots. So we'll put one just there. Right there. And we will put another one. What about down there? Now, the idea that popped into my head was we might grab some white baker's twine . And what we might do, may not work, but we can only try, eh? Whoops. Just want a tiny little bow. And I'm thinking if we put that there, I think that'll look okay. Just to add a little bit more dimension to the card and interest. So we'll just turn that over. Pop that on. And I might pop it just there. Stick that down. Grab our scissors. Just cut that off there. Cut that off there. And that is our card. So that's our card for today. So I'll just grab the other cards and we'll go through them. So that was our first one, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and week 5. Put that under there like that. Okay, that's so you can see them all. So thanks very much for joining me, and if you like this class, please let me know, and the next one will be released in February, and the details will come out about probably 2 weeks prior to going live. Okay, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your week. See ya. All right.